morning and welcome to our community meditation. And good morning to all of you who are joining us online. We appreciate you and thank you for being here with us as we connect in consciousness today. My name is Kelly Capsar and I'll be the practitioner for the day. Please take a moment and silence your cell phones, turn off any alarms, and simply become present right here and right now. Thank you. So this blend is a meditation of spoken word and silence accompanied by some beautiful music. So it'll last approximately 15 minutes. And so the first thing, I just invite you to simply take a breath. All the way in and all the way out. And notice the breath, your breath, the divine breath, moving into your lungs, into the backs and the bottoms, and the sides of your lungs. And noticing your breath moving into your spine. And letting that divine breath that connects all of us be consciously present through your central nervous system. And inviting your breath to drop into your hips. Noticing the bones of your hips, noticing the muscles of your hips. And dropping your attention and your awareness of breath to your feet, all of your toes, all of your bones, all of your muscles. And just simply notice, what does it feel like to be you right now? And come up with a word or two just for your own information. And our theme this month is love. Or true love. And right now, I have heard that the planet is being flooded with love. What would it be like if you put your attention on the love that is flooding the planet right now? Coming down like a rain upon you, soaking up through your feet, filling your entire body. I know traditionally the color red is associated with love. Ask yourself if there's a color that is more specific about love for you today. Invite your entire body to be filled up with that new color. maybe for you it comes in as a sound, a buzzing or a humming, or maybe a cat purring. And so breathing in any distractions that might be around you, that you might be seeing or hearing or feeling. Simply remember that that too has its origins in love. So since love truly is all around us and is everything, can you experience love as a texture right now? Maybe it's the feel of the wind on your skin. Or maybe it's the scent of flowers blooming. And right now, the flowers that are blooming and the plants that are blooming are so tangible that if you pay attention, you can feel the growth in all of the plants. What does that feel like in your body? And so for the next several minutes, I'm going to invite you to simply allow love to fill your body, to come in from whatever sense works best for you, sounds or smells or textures. And simply allow yourself to be completely filled up by the love that is. If you find your mind wandering, Invite the color or sound of texture of love to be present fully for you again. I've heard somewhere that love is patient, love is kind. So I invite you to remember that applies to yourself. Being kind and being patient and being loving to yourself. And so in the next moment or so, I invite you to tell your body thank you for accepting the love that is. Thank the love that is for showing up however it did for you today. Taking the breath all the way in and all the way out. And returning gently, easily, right here, right now, to this present moment. Okay, that concludes this morning's meditation. Thank you all so much for joining me. Feel free to do whatever you need in the next 15 minutes. Services start again at 10. So thank you.
Everything's energy. And it's in constant vibration. When we purposefully channel that energy and grow it in the ways that uplift us, we'll inevitably change our lives. Lives of those around us, and thus, the world we live in.
My name's Leslie. I'm a licensed spiritual practitioner with Centers for Spiritual Living Greater Las Vegas, and I would like to invite you to go on a journey with me. One of discovery and cultivation of the language that you use when you talk to yourself and when you talk to your higher power, however that is. We will be going through the 5 steps of spiritual mind treatment because it is scientifically proven to work. We will be talking about gratitude as a causative. We will find out why the name of this class is Are You Ready to Rumble? And we will find out what these guys have to do with any of it. Join us starting May 11th for 4 Thursdays, and we take a break. We test our hypothesis. Is this really provable? And then we come back for our science fair on June 29th. Join me. This is going to be fun. I'm super excited to learn and grow with all of you. So join me.
Keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real with Reverend Laura. Keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real with Reverend Laura.
This is Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Las Vegas. At CSL Greater Las Vegas, it is our mission to inspire spiritual discovery through community connection, exploration, and celebration. This mission supports the all-inclusive vision of Centers for Spiritual Living worldwide, in which we envision a world that works for everyone and all of creation.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Greater Las Vegas. I'm Reverend Laura Hallett, and it is my pleasure to be the senior minister here. It is so wonderful to see some new faces here with us today. We're so happy that you found us and decided to join us. And I want to send a special thank you to all of those people out there, welcome, that are joining us online here this morning. So if you would, turn around, everybody, and give a little wave to our camera. Let everybody online know that you are here with them. We have a wonderful, thriving online presence as well as our in-person presence here each Sunday morning, so we're so thrilled to have you. If you aren't familiar with us, we are a branch of religion that is called New Thought. New Thought is based on ancient wisdom, so it's kind of a paradox there. It is one of those religions that has taken lots of different ideas and brought them together, synthesized them into a way that makes sense in our modern world. We are all about positive thinking, uplifting spirituality. We practice all kinds of different spiritual practices like meditation, prayer, visioning, giving, service, all of these different things that help bring us to a greater experience of the presence of the divine within our own lives. And so we are so happy that you have found us here this morning. We're going to start this morning off with our opening song,
Bright idea.
Bright Idea. This is a great song. This is a wonderful song. I have it on my list here, but I forgot. So I'm turning it over to Justin here for Bright Idea.
I woke up to a light bulb. Every little thing is possible. I woke up to a feeling. Every little thing has meaning. I'm gonna use my two hands. I'm gonna move a mountain. I woke up to a light bulb on. Every little thing is possible now. Love is a bright idea. Love is a brilliant plan. I built my life around a bright idea. I built my life around the love that I found. I woke up to a new day. Every little thing will go my way. I woke up to a perfect thought. Every little thing in a perfect spot. Now I'm gonna use my own voice. I'm gonna sing the song of my choice. I woke up to a light bulb on. Every little thing is possible now. Love is a bright idea. Love is a brilliant plan. I built my life around a bright idea. I built my life around the love that I found. I'm gonna use my 2 feet. I'm gonna walk to my own beat. I woke up to a light bulb on. Every little thing is possible now. Love is a bright idea. Love is a brilliant plan. I built my life around a bright idea. Yes, I built my life around the love that I found. All right, if you're comfortable, greet your neighbor. Thanks for being here today. I woke up to a light bulb. Every little thing is possible. I woke up to a feeling. Every little thing has meaning. I'm gonna use my 2 hands. I'm gonna move a mountain. I woke
how fun it is to take a moment and just give everybody a little hug. We certainly enjoy it. It's fun to sit back up here and watch it happening, too. It's exciting out there. I'd like to introduce our practitioners for today. We have Shirley Shutt and Debbie Little sitting high watch with us here in the room. And online, we have Lynn Frankenberger and Leslie McKinnon, who are our online practitioners. And our practitioner for the day is Kelly Capsar, and she's going to set the tone for us with our affirmation and the invocation.
Good morning. So, we're going to say our affirmation. I'm going to say it. I would love for you guys to repeat it. Then we can say it again if you choose. And I invite you to put it on your phone as a reminder, put it on a Post-it and stick it on your mirror. Use it regularly throughout the week and see what you notice. Okay? So our affirmation: I am a powerful force of loving energy in the world. And one more time. I am a powerful force of loving energy in the world. And so I invite you to take the breath. And becoming present right here and right now in this moment. This moment that is love-filled, that is divine. That is inspired by the breath that connects each and every one of us. Right here in the room, in line, online. And it is the breath that connects us through the ages, with no time, no space, no distance. And so I tap into that knowing, into that breath, into that love that always is, knowing it is the very truth of my being. It is the very truth of every cell of my body. And therefore I know it is the truth of every cell of your body, every fiber of your being. And so coming together in this breath, in this love, we simply let love lead the way. We let the love that fills our cells and fills our being guide us into the greater that is yet to come. We know that the love that has been has guided us to this very moment. And so we celebrate that love, that breath. Truly letting it be the embodiment of who we are right here and right now. And so knowing that everything unfolds in love's time, in love's action, I simply give so much thanks. And I rest in the deep gratitude of this remembering, of this embodiment. And I allow love to lead the way, consciously, remembering that is the truth. And I simply let it be. And as we breathe in one more time together, breathing out one more time together, we simply say, and so it is.
So it is. I need to be still and let God love me. I need to be still and let God love me. When this old world starts to push and shove me, I need to be still and let God love me. I need to relax and let God take over. I need to relax God take over and take this load off of my shoulders. I need to relax, let God take over. I need to be still and let God love me. I need to be still and let God love me. When this old world starts to push and shove me, I need to be still and let God love me. I need to be still and let God love me. I need to be still and let God love me.
Thank you, Justin. I love when you sing that song because I can hear the other people out here singing along with you. Yeah, thank you. It's a beautiful one. And thank you, Kelly, for the lovely invocation. So this year we are working with the theme Building a Community, because we are in the process of building a building here. We're still in the same place in our process right now, so I was hoping we would have a little bit more movement towards the end of the month here, but we're still waiting for our building permits. But we're anticipating that highly, so if you want to keep that in your prayer work on a daily basis, we would appreciate that greatly. So for our theme, we decided to look at what kind of qualities were necessary if we were building a community. And so for January, we looked at freedom. February was creativity. March was joy. And April is all about love. And so this month, we've been speaking about love from lots of different ways. Mostly I've spoken from a biblical aspect of love, going through the ideas of love thyself, love thy neighbor, the greatest love of all. Today, I'd like to look at it from what our founder has to say about love. And so when you came in, there was a magnet on your chair. That's for you to take home. We have extra ones. If you'd like to give one out to somebody else, you're welcome to do that. I just want to caution you, don't put it next to your credit cards in your wallet, because you might not be able to use them when you get home. But this is for you. And this is some of the things that our founder, Ernest Holmes, says about love. You guys remember that cartoon back in the 70s and 80s, the little two cute little characters, and it said, love is ... and all those things. So I was inspired by that to create a magnet with some of the things that our founder says love is. He uses the phrase love is, well, literally thousands of times, because I counted. So I went into I have 15 of his books on Kindle. And so in Kindle, you can do a search. And so I thought, how many times? Because it was just like one after the other, as I'm researching for this talk. So in 15 books, he mentions love is 3,015 times. I love Kindle. Love to be able to do that search feature on there. 3,015 times he has words that describe what love is. He speaks about love and law. Law being the principle, being the way things work, being the part of spirit that is absolute and never falters, the part of spirit that is not judgmental, but just does what it does. And then he talks about the love. He is often quoted as saying in his later years that he wished he had spent more of his earlier years, more of his earlier work, focusing on love instead of law, because he's come to realize how important the love actually is. Recently, I've been reading 2 of his later books. Well, they're actually books that were not written by him, but they're books that are written about what he has said. One was written by Willis Kinnear, who was one of his companions in his later years, and it is the talks that he gave in 1959, which was the year before he passed away. And it's some of his last talks, and it is so filled with love. That one particular book, 120-some pages, has over 500 references to love is, because that's what he was focusing on in his later years. Love is. The other book that I had just recently discovered is actually written by a previous editor of the Science of Mind magazine. If you're not familiar with the Science of Mind magazine, it is the longest continuously published magazine in the United States, and it is the magazine that our founder started in 1929. And it's a monthly publication with these principles that we have, that we teach here. Anyway, so the editor of The Science of Mind took the radio shows that Ernest Holmes did in the 1950s and has written this book called The Power of This Thing Called Life. Ernest Holmes' radio show was called This Thing Called Life. And so he has put together the talks and synthesized that and created this wonderful book. And it's really quite a remarkable book. I'm really thrilled with it. I'm trying to see what I can do with it. But many of the quotes that I'm going to use today come from either those two books, either Ideas of Power, which are the last year's talks of Ernest Holmes, or Power of This Thing Called Life from his radio shows. So what does Ernest say love is? He has a book that he wrote in 1942 called The New Thought Dictionary. And in there, this is how he defines love. Love is the outpouring of spirit. Love is the givingness of life. In its lesser sense, love is the affection one has for another. The principle of love is not to be confused with sentimentality, although all forms of love are aspects of it. Love is the greatest transforming power, which brings everything into harmony. Love is the unifying principle, the creative element, the motivating power of all that is fine and noble in life. And in our spiritual mind treatment, which is our form of affirmative prayer, love is the healing force back of all prayer. Love is the healing force in the universe. He's often quoted as saying love is all there is. Sometimes he'll say other things like God is all there is, joy is all there is, peace is all there is. These qualities that are synonymous with spirit. So if love is all there is, why do we experience so many things that aren't love? Why do we experience so many things that look like they are contrary to love? If love is all there is, why do we have so much violence in this world? In his book, The Power of This Thing Called Life, he writes, all violence stems from a sense of disconnect. All violence stems from a sense of disconnect. The United States has what I would consider an epidemic of mass shootings. Now, a mass shooting is defined as 3 or more people who are shot or killed at one time in one particular incident. Today is the 113th day of the year. We've had 174 mass shootings. In 2021, there were 690 mass shootings. In 2022, there were 647 mass shootings. I didn't add up the number of people injured or killed. If love is all there is, why are we having so many mass shootings? Why is there so much out there? It goes back to all violence stems from disconnection. Author Glennon Doyle tells a story of going to her son's 5th grade teacher. He was doing division, and she couldn't understand how he was doing it. So she went to the teacher to say, can you explain this to me so I can help my son, because I don't understand this new math. So the teacher is working with her. It's a Friday afternoon, and the teacher is working with her, has said she's going to work with her after school. And so Glennon Doyle gets to school a few minutes before the class is over. And right at the end of the day, on Friday afternoon, the teacher passes out, passes out a piece of paper and has the students put their name at the top of it. And then she says, now I want you to write down the names of 4 people that you want to sit with next week in class. So the students do that. And then she says, all right, now I want you to nominate one person in this class who has been an outstanding student throughout this week. And so they do that, and she collects all the papers, dismisses the class, and they go about their way. And so after Glennon Doyle has gotten her math lesson from the teacher, she asked the teacher about this. She goes, do you do that every week? And the teacher says, yes. She goes, well, that's really kind of cool to give the kids a choice of who they get to sit with. And she goes, well, that's not why I do it. She said, and so Glenn Doyle says, really? Well, why do you do it? That's what, you were presenting out there. She goes, no, what I'm doing is I'm looking for patterns. I take all these lists that all my students have written out, and I look for the patterns in there. She says, and I ask myself 4 questions. She says, who is not getting requested by anyone else? Who doesn't even know who to request? Who never gets noticed enough to be nominated? And who had 1 million friends last week and none this week? I'm looking for the students who are disconnected. I'm looking for the students who are isolated. I'm looking for the students who are being bullied. I'm looking for the students who are bullying. I'm looking for patterns. And Glennon Doyle says to her, how long have you been doing this? And the teacher responds, every week since Columbine. Every week since Columbine. Now, I don't have to explain Columbine to this audience because we all lived through it. We all lived through all of the mass shootings that have been going on in the last 30 or 40 years that have increased in their frequency in the last 10 or 12. Scarlett Lewis is the mother of a child who was killed at Sandy Hook Elementary School in 2012. He was one of 19 first graders. Whose life was ended in less than 5 minutes when a young man who was very disconnected walked into his room with an assault rifle. 6 teachers, 19 students. Scarlett Lewis went home the day after her son's death, and she was looking in their kitchen, and her 6-year-old son, in his handwriting with his 6-year-old spelling, had written on the kitchen chalkboard, nurturing, healing, and love. Nurturing, healing, and love. When Scarlett Lewis had moved through some of her trauma, she was looking for a way to forgive, looking for a way to find more compassion. And when she started doing her work around it, she realized those 3 words, nurturing, healing, and love, were at the root of compassion in every single culture. Nurturing, healing, and love. The words out of a 6-year-old's hands. Since this death, she has created a foundation called Jessie Lewis Choose Love. And it has, they've created a curriculum to help bring more compassion into the schools, to help bring a greater sense of connection to students through all of the different programs that they are offering. And it has gone quite a few schools have implemented it. In 1995, a young man named Tariq Kamisa, who was a college student, was delivering pizzas. And he was called to deliver some pizzas to a house, and he got there, and he got out of his car and was getting the pizzas out when a young 14-year-old boy who was participating in a gang initiation shot and killed him. He and his friends then took the pizzas and went and had a party. Tariq's father decided after this incident that he had a choice. He could live in hate and anger, or he could set himself on a path of forgiveness. And so he did that. And the first thing he did was he connected with the shooter's grandfather. The shooter had been raised in a family without a father, but he had a very active grandfather in his life. And And between Tariq's father and the shooter's name was Tony, Tony's grandfather, they formed a foundation called the Tariq Kamisa Foundation, which targets high schools because of the age of the kids that were involved in it. They keep their focus on high schools. But again, it's an anti-violence program to help connect people, to help get them back out of that sense of isolation that is so prevalent in the society. Now, all three of these stories that I've just shared with you are about people trying to build connection, trying to keep people from feeling a sense of isolation. And if you start with those little kids, the 6-year-olds like Jesse Lewis, and we begin to develop a sense of connection in them, how profound that can be as they grow up in life, to keep establishing that sense of connection. When we have people like the teacher in Glennon Doyle's son's class, who is actively looking for those children that are isolated and disconnected. They are looking for ways to build love. All violence stems from the sense of disconnection. And the antidote to that is love. These are all examples of people moving through horrific challenges in their lives and getting to a place of compassion, a place of forgiveness, a place where they can actually give that love, to give that love out. You know, there have been so many tragic situations in our world. I remember October 1st, 2017, here in Las Vegas, where a man who was disconnected, isolated, decided to open fire on a concert. I was so grateful when I heard that some of our practitioners from here, from our center, went to the hospitals to see how they could help out, to see how they could give a little love, how they could ease the pain of some of the people that were involved in this horrific accident. If love is all there is, then why do we feel so disconnected? Why is our society feeling all of this? I think this has intensified in the last 3 years, this sense of disconnect. You know, when COVID hit, I remember doing my last service in St. George, Utah on March 15th and thinking, 2 weeks from now we'll be back, no problems. Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't even 2 years, and we weren't back. People rallied around online connection. They rallied on Zoom, Skype, Facebook, Messenger, where you could talk with somebody live, FaceTiming each other. It was good for a while. How many of you feel warm and fuzzy when you get on a Zoom call now? Yeah. It's just not the same anymore. We still need that sense of connection. And then there's the things that have happened in the 2 years where we, got used to being at home and don't really want to go out, don't want to bother getting dressed and going somewhere, or we're still worried about being, exposed to some of these viruses that are out there. This prolonged period of disconnect that we had forced upon us by COVID, I think has altered our society in quite a few ways. It's difficult for us to engage people in Zoom classes, Zoom meetings, Zoom calls, things like that. People don't really want to do it anymore. They're Zoomed out. But yet there's still this sense of, just easier to stay home. I have to get dressed if I go out. I don't want to do that. I have to comb my hair, for goodness sakes. I don't want to do that. At least on Zoom, I didn't have to wear pants. Just saying. I think there is an opportunity for us here to look at ways that we can begin to reconnect with each other. One of the things that Ernest Holmes says about love is that without love, there is no creativity. Without love, there is no creativity. I think that we've actually become creative. But our creativity, the things that we are creating, are actually not the things we really want to be experiencing. Ernest says that, and he just throws out a number. I don't think there's any scientific basis behind this number because it's just arbitrary as far as I can tell. And of course, this is 1959. He says there is a desire to love and be happy, to give and receive, and back of all of it is the necessity to create. Consequently, it is known in psychology that life does not express the love and joy and receive it. It buries a lot of this necessary creativity. And it buries it, and it shows up as 85% of our physical trouble, 85% of all disease, 85% of our accidents, and all of our unhappiness. The creative urge has been sat upon and hasn't found fulfillment, and so it raises all kinds of trouble. It's from Power of this thing called life. When we are not creating ourselves in a positive way, we are creating ourselves in a negative way. We are creating negative situations in our lives. We're constantly creating, so we're either creating something that's good for us or something that isn't quite so beneficial. And so think about the things that are happening in your life. I don't like that phrase, when somebody's experiencing trouble and somebody else asks them, how did you create that? I'm not going there with that. But there is truth to the fact that we are either creating something positive for ourselves or we're creating something that we really don't want to be experiencing right now. And oftentimes that experience is a lot of health challenges. Right now, this last couple of weeks, I've been kind of in this place of stagnation. I'm in the process of buying a house, and so I'm waiting for that to happen. And so I'm just kind of like stuck. And so I found myself sitting around a lot. And so this morning when I got up, my sacrum is like not happy. So, I'm looking at this and thinking, oh, you just have created a situation in which your sacrum now needs your attention. Isn't that lovely? Because of the way I was behaving throughout the last week or so. Sitting around too much, not getting up, moving around enough, and things aren't happy. They said 85%, I don't know about that. The thing about love is it doesn't force anything to happen. It does it subtly. But when we're feeling disconnected, when we're feeling isolated, when we're feeling stuck, those things come about a little more forcefully. It's like kind of like the universe saying, "Hey, you need to pay a little attention here." And so, it's that those 2x4 moments that they talk about. If you haven't experienced a 2x4 moment, just wait till you do. That is the most apt description I have ever heard in my life. To be sitting in a nice contemplation and all of a sudden feeling like you got smacked upside the head. There is nothing quite like it. Ernest says that love does not overcome hate and fear through controversy, argument, or by force, but by a subtle power of transformation, transmutation, and sublimation. It is invisible in its essence, but apparent through its acts. Love is subtle. It changes things subtly. But it allows us to get to a place where we are able to find creative solutions to the problems that we're experiencing. But when we get stuck, when we feel disconnected, when we feel isolated, and we keep ourselves more isolated and more disconnected, and it just perpetuates the problem, then it's difficult sometimes to see those subtle nuances working through us. we need to begin to experience love in a way that allows us to transform it. To transform an experience we don't want to be having into an experience that is more beneficial for us. To transform experiences that are unpleasant in their nature into ones that uplift us and raise our consciousness. It is an ongoing opportunity to find more and more love in our lives. We can find it in all kinds of ways. It doesn't have to be the love between one person and another. It could be a love for something that you do. Perhaps you love to be out in nature, taking a walk. You're experiencing love that way. When I read the statement about creativity, I was a little perplexed about it. I feel that I'm an exceptionally creative person, and then I think, well, sometimes I don't experience as much love as I want to. And then I looked at my creations. And you know what? I absolutely love them. They tickle me. They really do. I look at the things that I've created, and I just actually get tickled by them. I want to surround my house with things that I love. I was talking to the loan processor the other day, and he goes, "What are you most excited about in your new house?" And I said, "I get to put all my art up. I don't have to worry about, I've been renting a house for the last year and a half. I don't have to worry about what the landlord's going to say. I get to put it up the way I want to put it up. I get to create the space that I want to create. I get to bring the love that I want to feel into the home that I'm going to be in." And so we have this opportunity all the time to bring about more of an experience of love in our lives. I have one last quote here that I'd like to share with you. And again, this comes from Ideas of Power, one of the last talks that Ernest Holmes ever gave in 1959. And he got a little feisty in the end. He would tell people exactly like it was. So he says this: "God didn't make a mistake when it made you. You are an exalted being. You are the graciousness of the living God. You are the incarnation and embodiment of the living Spirit. You are the joy of God. You are the delight of God, and you are the song of God. And anyone who will sing a song will hear it come back from 1,000 other voices. Anyone who will love enough will be loved. Anyone who will be happy enough will make happiness and make others happy. They just can't help it. Beloved, you are the thing that you seek, the thing for which you long for. The great and the good and the gracious God exist in you. Act as though I am, and consciously dissolve all those thoughts and feelings and fears, and then look out." All right, let's take this into prayer. I invite our spiritual practitioners to stand and surround us. These beloveds spend at least 4 years in dedicated study and spiritual practice to build their consciousness and to be a beneficial presence to our entire community. And so we just simply turn within. And when I do that, I just simply close my eyes and take in a breath, allowing that breath to connect in my body, feeling that life force moving through me, knowing that it is only one presence, one power, one divine creative source of all. It looks like many different things. It shows up in many different ways and through many different avenues, but it is all one. That creative love intelligence is that presence of unconditional love, of perfect peace, of divine wisdom. It is balance and harmony flowing throughout the entire universe. The ebb and flow of life, moving itself in greater and greater expanding circles, encompassing all that is. And because I know that there is only this one, I know that I am one with it. And all that it is resides right at the heart of my being. I am that place of perfect peace, of unconditional love, of creative intelligence and wisdom. My life is one of balance and harmony, of ebb and flow. And because I know this is true for me, I know this is true for everyone. For we are each a perfect emanation of that one, endowed with all that Spirit is. And so knowing this truth, I speak my word. I know that each one of us is a perfect receptacle for love, a perfect place for love to generate itself from us, moving itself through us, touching everyone in our circle. I know that that divine love has no judgment. It knows no sin or condemnation. It is always unfolding itself for the highest and greatest good of everyone. And I know through this power of love that we are all connected in this oneness, that there is no sense of isolation, there is no sense of disconnect, that each one of us is in the perfect place right here and right now to connect in love with everyone we meet, everyone in our circle, everyone that we hold in our heart. And how good it is to know this, how good it is to feel it, and how good it is to see it operating in this community right here and right now. And I just give thanks for this knowing. I'm so grateful to see it unfolding, and I'm so grateful for all who participate in it. And I release this word into the creative law, into that mind that always says yes, that never knows any lack or limitation. I let it go and I let it be. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. Okay, so now is that time in our service when we share our tithes and offerings. We have baskets we're going to be passing for cash and check donations if you'd like to do that. We also have lots of other ways that you can donate. We have our online donation. Our admin, Kelly Marshall, has her computer in the back. If you want to make an online donation, you can do that. We also have text to give, and we have our new Zelle program. So all of these ways which we gratefully receive your offerings. And so Justin has a beautiful song. It's one of my favorites. He's going to sing while we do this. All right.
All right. Thanks, Reverend Laura. Darkness closes in, you can't find your way. The doubts you drag around only seem to say, how can you make it on your own? Remember, you're never alone. Lean into me, I will raise you up and gather your faith, and we'll walk on water. Hold out your hand when you can't go on. Let go and lean into me. Longing to be filled, peace that overflows, to hear my quiet voice. Just be still and know, in every sacred silence, I'm only a whisper away. Lean into me, I will raise you up and gather your faith, and we'll walk on water. Hold out your hand when you can't go on. Let go and lean into me. With every leap of faith, there's a risk you may slip and stumble. Leave what you've known behind, out on the edge you'll find. I won't let you fall. Lean into me, I will raise you up and gather your faith, and we'll walk on
Justin. All right, we have just a few announcements today. Next Sunday is a very special Sunday. It's the 5th Sunday of the month, and we are doing a service that we call Tazay. Tazay is, today's an experience. Today's an experience, isn't it? It just really is. You have to be there to experience it. It's a lot of music. It'll be just Justin and I, and he'll play some songs. What do you got? 7 songs, 8 songs, something like that. And then I will be doing some wonderful passages, and we're speaking about love, of course. And during the service, we also have a time when you can request prayer, and then we have a time for candle lighting, where we do a little ritual candle lighting experience. Hugging is involved in it, so those of you that like the hugs, you don't have to hug, but those of you that like them, you got them. And it really is a wonderful experience to be here with today. And afterwards, the Leadership Council and staff are providing lunch for you guys, so hope you'll stay and have lunch with us. We're going to have sandwiches and chips and veggies and dessert and things like that. So it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful Sunday next week. So hope you consider joining us. And those of you that are online, if you can make it here on next Sunday, we'd love to see you in person. So, yeah, anyway, I'm excited about it. We haven't done a live Tazay in over 3 years. We did one on January. Justin and I did one, but it was recorded. So, okay, we have the ability for you to sponsor flowers. As you can see today, we don't have flowers, but we have the experience for you to sponsor them if you'd like to. We have next week and the following. I think almost all of May is booked already, but June is available. So if you're interested in sponsoring flowers for a particular service, maybe you want to acknowledge particular anniversary or a birthday or something wonderful that's happening in your life, and would like us to acknowledge it, and you can sponsor the flowers for that. You can see Kelly in the back, or you can just go to our website, and the link is right there for you to sign up and sponsor flowers. We also have a sign-up sheet for you to sponsor treats if you'd like to bring treats for our hospitality. Don't need any next Sunday, but after that, we would gratefully receive your treats that you'd like to bring and share with the rest of us here. We have some wonderful Wednesday services that are happening this month. We've had, where is she at? There she is, over here. Penelope Pendragon, our Valerie Petit, has been providing our services this month, all about the topic of love. So we have one more left for this month. So Wednesday night at 7 p.m. online on our YouTube channel. Go to that and you can catch Valerie in action, or Penelope in action. I will be doing the Wednesday services in May, and they're all going to be about mindfulness. I'm doing a series of mindfulness workshops at Centennial Hills Library, which is off of North Buffalo, on Wednesday nights, 6:30, I think, I have it here, 6:30, I believe. Wherever it is, somewhere. Well, I did have it. Okay, here it is. There we go. Yes. 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. Each Wednesday in May. There's 5 Wednesdays in May. And so the series, I'm going to start off with an introduction to mindfulness. Mindfulness for reducing stress in your life. Mindfulness for reducing pain. Mindfulness while eating and exercising. And mindfulness for compassion for ourselves and others. And so it's going to be a wonderful experience. Next month we're talking all about peace. And I can't think of anything more powerful to help build peace in our life than to get into a state of mindfulness. We also have a class that's starting May 1st. If we have anybody sign up for it, this is our last week to sign up. And it's 3 weeks on mindfulness. So they're 2.5 hours each. And so if you can't experience it at the library or the Wednesday night services, you're welcome to sign up for our class on that. And our practitioner, Leslie McKinnon, has created a new class, which I love the title of, Are You Ready to Rumble? And it's about cultivating your positive internal dialogue. What are those things that we are saying, and what is that creating in our life in response to the things that we're saying? Both of these classes are offered on Zoom from 6 to 8:30. The mindfulness classes are on Monday, and the Are You Ready to Rumble classes are on Thursday nights. Information's on our website for you to sign up there. We have prayer from our practitioners available after service. If you would like to have a personal spiritual mind treatment, they are available for that. We set them up in the patio outside here, and Kelly, our practitioner of the day, will direct you to one of them. So if you want a prayer, just come over here to the door. You can ask for prayer for things that are problematic in your life right now, and you can also ask for prayer for the things that are going really good that you want to keep going good. So either way it works. So take advantage of our spiritual mind treatment. All right, I think that pretty much concludes it. Oh, we do need help after service putting the tables and chairs back together, so if you would stay and do that. And, okay, if you would, stand, please.
Yes, please join us for Use Me. You all know this, so sing
Wait.
along. Oh,
We got to do my benediction first. Can't miss out on this. This is fun, remember? Would you repeat after me? Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
It is this thing called love.
It is this thing called love.
Love is in my mind.
Love is in my mind.
Love is in my heart.
Love is in my heart.
Love is in all that I do.
Love is in all I do.
I am it.
I am it.
I share it.
I share it.
And I'm becoming more of it.
And I'm becoming more of it.
Each and every day.
Each and every day.
Thank you, love.
Thank you, love.
Now let's sing Use
join
Me.
me and Use Me. Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. All right, sing it out this last time. Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. 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 Have a good week, everyone.
Before we go, I want the people online to know if you would like one of these magnets, send me an email, and I'll be happy to send it to you. All right? And take extras if you want them. We've got made 100, so if you know somebody you can pass it out to, please. Have a great week, everyone.
All right. Thank you.
I'm walking with the Spirit, and I'm talking to the Spirit. I'm learning from the Spirit, and I'm turning to the Spirit. I'm growing in the Spirit, and it's showing from the Spirit. I'm walking with the Spirit in front of me. Well, I'm walking with the Spirit. I'm talking to the Spirit. I'm learning from the Spirit, and I'm turning to the Spirit. I'm growing in the Spirit, and it's showing the Spirit. I'm walking with the Spirit in front of me. When I find myself in one of those situations that's leading